Welcome back to Studio Lou. I'm Cindy, and I'm bringing you journal number 11 of 12 in the Life of Gnomes journal series. So today I'm hanging out with this little gnome girl, and she's super cute. And this is the journal. So this journal I'm just calling Gnome Robin, and it has been decorated on both the front and on the back with original art from the Vintage Gnome Book series. If you haven't seen my first video in this series called the Gnome Tome, I recommend you check it out. It talks about where I got all of the paper and ephemera to make these books, or the supplies. So this journal has 3 signatures, and it's hardbound in a vintage book. It has an elastic closure with a little apple bead there, and it has a knob on front with a hand-dyed elastic to close it. And on the bottom, there are these 3 little toadstool beads that are tied to each signature. So let's get inside. Oh, I should mention the spine as well. So the spine has been visibly bound with 3 signatures, and it is eco-printed silk fabric to close this this spine with lots of iron. So it's a very beautiful fabric. So when you open up, you can again see that beautiful fabric, that silk that is bound to the spine for strength. The whole book has been strengthened and sealed. So when we open this front cover, there's a little pocket made from handmade strawberry paper. So these are strawberry prints. And it has a little, this book belongs to book page. And then inside is a tag with a collage and some botanicals. Little piece of strawberry paper here. And then this is eco-printed paper. And that is a vintage bird book page. And over here is this cute little surreal squirrel in a dress. And a little page of butterflies. And here we have a little goat, and this is just a lovely paper. It's just certificate paper with botanicals and a bird, and it's been painted in acrylic for writing space. And on this side is a pocket with a little bird there. And we just pull out this journal tag, and there's another bird hiding back there. And this is a gnome, and he's got these special little boots on that have impressions that make his footprints look like bird prints. Cabbage dyed paper and some nice fabric. And here we have a little mole on a side tuck with a mushroom. And then this is a little journal card, and it says, "As the sun rises, the father gnome reads a chapter from the secret book. This is respectfully listened to by all. After that, the doors are batted, the fire extinguished, children put to bed, and the field mice silenced." So that's from the original book of gnomes. This is a little notebook stationery, and just some brown cardstock. And then this is a coloring book page from the Story of Pandora. It's a very beautiful book. And this is the center of the first signature. And the little bunny unicorn. And some botanicals. And cabbage dyed paper. And here we have a belly band with some botanicals behind and in front, and then a little gnome mom and baby in their kitchen, and on the back just some lovely blue flowers. So that just tucks in there. And on this side we have a watercolor painted botanical. It's used as a tuck for this journal card of a gnome carrying a heavy pack with a, looks like a ukulele on top. And then a little stack of gnomes, some butterflies, more botanicals, This is a collage journal card with a gnome helping out a little hedgehog. And inside is this gnome journal tag. And on the back it has a little leaf and some berries. And it has fabric sewn on top. And this is an image of a gnome from a 1980s ceramic artist's mold catalog. So you could order the molds for these gnomes to make your own. This is eco-dyed paper, and then we're at the center of the first and second signature. And inside is this handmade envelope from this Crow vintage book paper. And inside is a journal card of a lovely gnome girl in a flowery field with a basket. That just tucks in there. And then over here is more vintage bird book pages. And over here is a little gnome under like a nature mobile with a pine cone and some seeds. And then just some beautiful magazine page of flowers. And on this side we have a pocket with a little bird. And behind it is cyanotope of some plants. And this is a collaged journal tag with a little fairy on the bottom and a bumblebee, or a honeybee rather. Wood grain paper and a little bird. So this is a fabric tuck side pocket. So that's actually been printed on the fabric. I did that using orange oil in a fabric transparency class that I took some time ago. And this is a collage journal card with a gnome and a little bird friend and some other birds. This is a book page from The Tiny Seed. A little moth up there, and some coffee dyed paper, eco dyed paper, and just some really pretty paper, and cabbage dyed paper, center of the second signature. Some bees on this fabric. Another book page from The Tiny Seed. And on this side is a belly band that talks about using indigo to dye. So it shows a gnome woman and she's hanging up her indigo dyed cloth on a line. And then inside, her equally talented husband or partner, and he's just doing some glass blowing. On this side we have a little gnome child riding on a hen, a rooster, and looking up at a fig. Wood grain paper. On this side we have a belly band with a woodpecker and a cyanotope of some botany behind. And inside here are two journal cards. One is a winter scene with a gnome feeding some berries to a bird, and the other is sort of botanical and mushroom images with a little gnome couple here. It has some botanical on the back. This side we have a pocket with a moth. It's been collaged, some botanical magazine paper, and inside is this journal tag with a little gnome and a ladybug marching off into a toadstool house. And a little image of two gnome women knitting and a mouse with their yarn ball. And another belly band with botanicals and this beautiful moth. And inside is a collage journal card with a laughing gnome and a bird. And on the back is a sandpiper. This side has a pocket that's been stamped with a bee and has a bird and some flowers. Peonies behind. And this big journal tag with this lovely catfish and a gnome picking a rose. And this is the final signature. Some more peonies and some nice paper, and then just images of botanicals and this beautiful butterfly, and some catkins, and a pocket with a couple of gnomes, And inside is a gnome and some botanicals, both sides. And this is the life cycle of a plant, going from seed all the way to fruit. And a pocket with this little beetle. And this is a journal card with a bird and some butterflies, a little fawn on the back. It's been collaged. And this is paper from the Tiny Seed book. Cabbage dyed eco print paper. And some scientific illustrations of eggs. And a little couple of birds here on a shoreline and some more botanicals. And then this is a coloring book page from the story of Pandora. And a little gnome with a bird. And more scientific drawings of bird eggs. And this is from the Tiny Seed. It's a children's book. It's really lovely. And this is an image of the sun. And on this side, there's some text from the book that's quite nice. And then a pocket with botanicals. And inside is this journal card of a little party scene where gnomes are having a little party with some animals. And on this side, another botanical pocket with some mushrooms. And these two gnomes, one's playing the violin and another is dancing with a beetle. And some chestnuts. And a gnome in a little cart. Some catkins. More peonies. This is a magazine page of just beautiful florals. And then we're at the end of the journal where we have this pocket with these birds. And inside is a continuation of the front cover with that beautiful dyed silk and some more of those flowers. And inside is the little note from the bookmaker, me. There's some information about my journals. And then this large journal card of a winter scene with gnomes skating and this little gnome girl being pulled in the walnut shell. And that just pops in there. So then the whole journal closes up. And that is the end of Gnome Robin. So that is it for this journal. And thank you so much for watching. Please check the description box for all of my social media information. I'd love it if you would subscribe, leave a comment, click the little notification bell to hear when I make new videos. Have a great day.